Hey, what's going on, guys? So I've been looking for other wall mount storage solutions for the garage as well as for my office area. I currently have two walls covered in pro slat walls, and they're pretty good. But my biggest gripe for them is that they don't really produce many sort of accessories and attachments, such as shelves and hangers and all that stuff. They do provide a lot of hangers for like yard equipment and shovels and all that sort of stuff. But they basically just have like very basic stuff. They have various size hooks, maybe a couple of shelves and paper towel holders, a lot of wire basket accessories, and mostly just stuff for like lawn and garden equipment. So it's a great setup and I really like it, but it's very limited. Like I said, they don't really produce a lot of accessories for garage stuff outside of like your typical house and lawn and yard equipment. So it's been kind of a pain in the ass. Anytime I want to mount something, I have to basically custom make it. And they sell some sort of pre-bent brackets that I've been using. They sell them at Menards, and I basically just weld bolts to them, and then I build a hanger out of wood or whatever, depending on what I need. So I built a hanger for my wall mount shop vacuum, and I've also built completely out of wood charging station. So like I said, the Pro slat wall, it works really well, but it's just limited. So I came across another wall mounting storage solution. Not a big fan of pegboard. Granted, I have it in several spots in the garage, but it's just kind of flimsy and it's not that great. But what I did come across was OmniWall. So OmniWall, it's basically a metal board with pegboard holes. It fits 1/4 inch pegboard accessories and hooks and all that stuff. But they also have their sort of proprietary mounting system as well. And it's pretty sweet setup. And the best part about it is that they have tons of different accessories, and they're constantly making more based on customer input. So they have shelves, they have power tool stations, they have power strips, they have all your various hooks and all that stuff. But they have various shelf sizes, shelves that are 3 inch in depth to 12 inches in depth. So there's just a lot more versatility with the system, and it's also significantly cheaper. They come in 16 by 32 inch panels, and so you could just basically make it as big as you want, and like I said, it's very reasonably priced. Ended up picking up some for the garage, and I also picked up a few panels for my home office, and this wall in particular. So I picked up two 16 by 32 panels for mounting right here, and I ended up picking up 5 or 6 panels for the garage, since there's more room and I got a bunch of other crap that I need to hang in there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show you what comes with the system. Alright, so I went ahead and opened the box. So you can see it comes with hardware to mount to both just straight up drywall. So it's got drywall mounts, and you can mount it directly to studs as well. But yeah, basically here's kind of the instructions. It's the sort of setup. But yeah, basically you have these wall cleats right here, and you've got a top one and you've got a bottom one, and you basically just mount it to your studs. And then here's one of the shelves that I got. Pretty cool. But yeah, you basically mount those top and bottom cleats, and then you hang your panel. It just basically it just sits over the top of the cleat, and then it comes with these push pins, plastic push pins, and you just pop a few into the top and the bottom, and then they hold securely. So let's get this mounted up. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is figure out where we want to mount these panels. So I'm going to be mounting mine with the top at about 69.5 at about 69.5 inches, so it should be about here, and for the bottom cleat it's just 32 inches lower. So let's go ahead and mark my studs. I know there's one here and one about here, so let's go ahead and get my measurements and get it all marked up so we can go ahead and mount this thing. Okay, so I got my first marking at 69.5, and I marked the position of the studs. So let's go ahead and find the next one right here. Alright, so we've got my markings, marked the proper height, so let's go ahead and get these cleats marked up. So we have two cleats, and they both look very similar. The only difference is this is the top cleat, and it has this little indentation right here. So yeah, make sure you orient this properly, so it's going to be like this, with the mounting holes on the lower side, and then the top holes that the panels rest on will be facing the ceiling. So it helps if you have a magnetic level. Okay, so I'm just going to be drilling the first hole on this side, and then I'll make my markings once I can sort of hang the bracket and get it proper, because since I have a textured wall, it's kind of hard to get it totally leveled and make the markings at the same time. So let's just go ahead and drill a hole real quick. We're basically going to do the same thing for the bottom cleat, except all we're going to do is just measure down 16 inches and go from there. Now if you're like me and just for some reason really bad at measuring, what you can do is just grab the panel and temporarily hang it and then make your markings. So the system just uses these little black plastic pop rivets. If you work on cars, you know exactly what these are. I'm just going to put it right here in the middle. And now we can measure, get our measurement here. So I went ahead and marked my other studs for the bottom cleat, and this is just going to basically going like this. So we have on the top cleat, the panel hangs from it, so the lip on the panel, it overlaps on the hanger itself, on the cleat. For the bottom, it just rests inside of the cleat. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do a little something like this. That should be solid. That's not going anywhere. Everything looks lined up pretty well. Okay, so that's it. Now if you have you know, more of these, you could always you know, mount these to drywall if you don't have studs or the spacing's weird, but this should be alright with 2 studs right in the center. I think that'll be fine. So let's go ahead and throw this panel in. Let's do this first one. So again, it just kind of, the top cleat, it overlaps, and that is what the panel just kind of hangs from the cleat itself. Here. Okay. There's one. Should be right. Sitting. Alright, so if you did your measurements right, it should be sitting right on top of the bottom cleat. So let me go and just make sure all the holes line up and throw these rivets in, these clips. Clips in at the top, line up your holes. Okay, and then don't forget to pop in the actual part that locks these clips into place. Get a little hammer and okay, that's the top clips. Let's finish up the bottoms. Sweet. That's it. That is the OmniWall. It's all mounted up. Looks pretty good. Lined up good enough. Seems pretty solid. Right here I have a shelf, and it basically mounts into the slots. And you can even secure it if you want it a little more secured. You can even add some push pins. There's holes for them as well. But yeah, we can go ahead and mount it up like so. This is just like so. Cool. The powder coat, it's not great for the paint on these. You know, especially on this shelf, you could tell like it's very hammered and textured out over here. There's a little bit of spots in these corners that didn't get hit with paint, but yeah, for the price, these are pretty good, especially if you can get them on sale like on Black Friday. But they do come in a variety of colors. I got obviously white for my office. And I ended up getting a gray silver for the garage to match the gray slat walls that I have in there. Okay. So I'm going to get everything mounted up how I want it before I do anything crazy and add the pins to it. But I got this shelf specifically to house my detailing supplies while it's you know, cold outside and the temperatures are a bit low, and my expensive detailing supplies have to be kept from freezing. So figure I'll just bring them inside every winter. So yeah, look at that. That's pretty sick, isn't it? Got a nice little accessory wall for the office. You know, and like I said, they make a variety of different shelving widths, you know, ranging from 16 inches, so like one full panel, to 32 inches for 2 panels, and they, you know, like I said, range from 3 inches in depth to, you know, 12 inches. So yeah. It's pretty neat. Pretty clean storage solution. But yeah, like I was saying, it might be kind of hard to tell on camera, but like, look at the paint job. You know, you could see the texture. And like I said, in the corners, there's definitely some spots where they didn't quite get paint. It's right there. Yeah, I mean, the finish itself is not, it's not that great. There's plenty of like paint chips right here. Right here's one. Yeah, right there. There's some paint chipping. There's some paint chipping right here as well. You know, it kind of sucks because it's like the front of the panel itself, but you know, overall it's, you know, it's meant for the garage. It's good enough quality. It's not, you know, it's not a car paint job or anything. It's meant to get dinged up, but yeah, looks pretty sick. Yeah, this one's not too bad. There's not as many textured spots. It seems like the coverage was a lot better in the corners. But yeah. Like I said, I like the versatility because I can, you know, I've got shelving. I'm planning on putting my chargers for my cordless tools and stuff on here, so I don't have to leave my batteries all out in the cold garage. I should put these right here. Yeah. Nice, 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 nice. Also got this, this power strip. I was kind of hoping it was going to be like a sort of custom power strip produced by OmniWall, and you know, comes in different paint colors and has a like a proper mounting solution, but ultimately all it really is just they have a this measuring tape holder right here, and they've got some double-sided tape on here that basically you just stick the power strip onto it, which I feel like it's a little janky. It doesn't really seem very secure, especially for something that something like a power strip where you're going to be, you know, yanking cords and plugging them in all the time. Seems like kind of a half-ass solution in my opinion. So I'm probably going to end up zip tying this power strip or something. But yeah, it's a decent little power strip though. Comes with you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outlets and some USB-A as well as a USB-C port. So that's kind of nice. Got an angled cord on it as well. Yeah, so it's basically going to be like this. I had a bunch of different stuff. You know, I ended up getting this glove box holder. You know, can't really ever have too many boxes of gloves around the place, so you know, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, ended up getting a bunch of different shelves, and you know, various like different sizes of hooks right here, and and so these hooks are cool because if you have pegboard, you know that 1/8 inch pegboard's not too bad, but 1/4 inch pegboard's terrible. All of the hooks just come out as soon as you try to grab a tool from them. But these are kind of nice because they come with little provisions for push pins. So it seems like that's kind of their common thing, is just to use push pins to just lock everything into place. That's pretty cool. So got a bunch of different hooks. I'll probably hang like, you know, various cords from these or something. I've also got some, you know, some bigger sized hooks like these. Don't know what I'm going to use them for, but you know, maybe I could like hook some clamps up to them or something. Who knows? I just got a bunch of different stuff, so yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that basically wraps up my installation of the OmniWall panel. As you can see, it's a pretty slick storage solution. Like I said, it's very, I think it's just a much better alternative to pegboard, obviously, but it's also, it's a good in-between. You know, it's a good solution that falls somewhere in between like your slat walls versus just straight up pegboard. It's obviously like, it looks significantly better than you know, just your standard pegboard. I don't think it looks quite as clean as like a slat wall, but again, it gives you the versatility of a pegboard. You know, like I said, so I could use anything that you know, any sort of 1/4 inch pegboard accessory, but not just that. OmniWall also produces a bunch of different accessories for these OmniWall panels, and you know, they're constantly making more. So this kind of falls in between, you know, your pegboard where you have just unlimited versatility versus your slat wall where you're kind of limited to just like, you know, hooks for, you know, shovels and stuff. So like I said, it's a pretty sweet solution, and it's very affordable too. Like, I think you could get you know, a 4-panel kit that doesn't come with any accessories, but it comes with, you know, the panels themselves and the cleats and everything you need to mount the panels. But you could get 4 or 5 panels for less than $200, you know. And if you consider the fact that like a Pro slat wall for a 8 by 48 inch you know, set, that's going to run you $300+. So like I said, it's just more versatile. It's versatile in terms of storing stuff and mounting your accessories and tools and whatever. It's versatile in that aspect, but it's also versatile due to its size, right? It comes in 16 by 32 panels. It even comes with slightly bigger panels as well. But you know, I've got some wall space where I'm going to put 4 or 5 panels in, but then I've also got a wall space by my drill press that only has about, you know, 20 inches of space. So, you know, if I wanted to use a Pro slat wall, for instance, I'd have to go buy an entire slat wall. You know, I'd be spending $350 or so to get a huge 8 by 48 inch section of slat wall just to mount a small 20 by 30 area or whatever, something like that. OmniWall, since they come in 16 by 32 inch panels, I now have the perfect solution for that small space. So like I said, it's just significantly more versatile, especially if you have smaller spaces to work with. But yeah, so I'm very impressed with the OmniWall. Very happy with the accessories and I'm not super happy about the quality in terms of like the paint and the finish, but you know, outside of that, I'd still give that a good enough rating. But outside of that, I feel like this is a very good bang for your buck. So I highly suggest OmniWall. You know, definitely be on the lookout, because I think OmniWall, you know, they're one of those companies that throws a lot of sales. So, you know, I'm sure they'll have a Valentine's Day sale or, you know, Boxing Day sale coming up. Definitely be on the lookout if you're trying to save a little money. Alright, so I've taken some time to get a few things set up and a few things organized. So, like I had earlier, I've got my little shelf to house all my detailing supplies over the winter. I got my shelf for my charging station or whatever, all my extra chargers set up along with the power strip so that I can kind of keep my batteries charging and out of the cold, you know, so they're not sitting in the cold garage. Got my gloves set up, and like I said, I bought a bunch of various hooks. I will say, and I think it's common amongst just pegboard hook manufacturers in general, but I don't know if you can quite tell, but the hooks themselves are kind of, you know, they're not the greatest quality. You know, and this isn't just OmniWall, this is just all pegboard hooks in general, but they're never quite straight. They're always a little, you know, they're always bent and welded at weird angles, and for the most part it's fine. But you know, if you're looking for perfect pegboard hooks, OmniWall is no different than any other pegboard hook manufacturer, where it's just kind of dodgy, not quite lined up. The quality control isn't necessarily there. But yeah, that's it. You know, I've had this for a couple of weeks now, and you know, just still moving some stuff around, figuring out what I can mount on here, what I can't mount. But you know, I can't stress this enough. These OmniWalls are just versatile. You know, like there's tons of flexibility. There's all sorts of different mounting options and combinations of hooks and pegs and whatnot that you can use, and it's, you know, you can basically set up everything exactly how you want it. Like as you can see here, I've got my Xbox controller just sitting on top of a couple of their smaller hooks, so it's pretty cool. I don't think I hit on it earlier, but you know, along with the versatility and price of these things, one of the main things that OmniWall has going for itself, you know, above all other competitors, is the color options. So you can get these in all sorts of different colors. All of the accessories come in different colors. You can just create any color combo that you want. So like obviously here I have white OmniWall with black accessories, you know. Like I said earlier, in my garage I'm going to have a gray OmniWall also with black accessories, but like, you know, they have these, you can get it in red, blue, orange, black, gray, white. I think that's probably the coolest thing about OmniWall. It's just, you can get it. You can get your storage solution and have it look exactly how you want it to match the rest of your garage or house, whatever. You know, you can match any color scheme, and so I think that's really cool. So, I mean, I would say in terms of price, versatility, and just, you know, color options alone, that's enough for me to want to go with OmniWall. Like if I had the choice and I didn't already have my Pro Slot wall set up in the garage, I probably would have just gone OmniWall throughout the entire garage. Like I said earlier, I feel like the Pro Slot wall is, you know, it's more for home and garden sort of use, and like if you have a bunch of kids running around, you can store like balls and golf clubs and stuff like that, but like if you want a real setup for like tools and, you know, clamps and woodworking, all that sort of stuff, like I think OmniWall is definitely one of the better choices. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. It's really going to help out the channel a lot. I'm hoping to make more videos in the future and do more tool reviews. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope this was informative for you guys. Peace out.